Yo, 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 and welcome to another episode of Roy's Podcast. I'm Roy Spencer.
And I'm Johnny Rodriguez, and this is Roy's podcast. So, Roy, we got a lot of things going on. We haven't been able to make an episode in a little bit, so this is going to be a nice, refreshing thing for our audience.
Big recap.
Big recap. So let's just start straight off with the last thing that we talked about, which was the TQQQ.
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
Wilson.
Yes, Mike Wilson. I wonder what he's doing now because clearly his evidence wasn't strong enough to substantiate what happened in the market. In which he called that the actual market would fall off a cliff somewhere between 10 and 20%. Looks like diving into it, I want to show you guys what actually happened so you're not confused with what all these people screaming that like the next death is coming. But yeah, since he's made that prediction, it was kind of about a month ago, and people were all up in turmoil here. Right around a month ago, he said, yeah, he got famous like right around here. He said we're gonna see a massive crash. Okay, so we did see some sort of like a downturn,
What did it
but
go down to?
it bounced down to right around what we said. We said it was going to bounce down to around 119. Like we said that last like one of our last shows, and I've also posted about it heavily on Instagram and Twitter if you guys follow us. But what we ended up seeing happen, the TQQQ is a 3 times multiplier of what actually is going on in like the market and stuff. But it was like when he got popular, it was like right around 12% being up, and it bounced down to like -8%. And if you think about it, if this is 3 times multiplier, falling from 12 down to 8, that's 20% right there. I don't think he was talking about the TQQQ, so you need to split that into quarters, into thirds, and so that kind of comes in at around, what we'd say, just under 8%, around 7%, like pullback, and that's what we'd been predicting here on Roy's podcast for a while. I told you guys, like when we went through Mike Wilson's prediction on here, that there was no way that this would be like, I don't see it happening. This is one, the United States economy, and we don't deal with bullshit like that. And two, like it just like everybody was getting scared all at the same time. So we predicted on here between a 12 and 8% podcast, one of our prior episodes, and we could find that if you guys
We'll
want.
put a clip.
As brought in on the last show, I had marked out that the TQQQ had some support levels. The first support level was at 128, the second level of support was at 120, and the third level of support was at 111. The TQQ fell in that week from around 142, bounced off the 128, and is now back sitting at around 137. For those of you guys that got in at the 128 mark, you guys are about to print cash the rest of the year. Now, I'm not saying that this is like an end-all be-all and that these levels won't be tested again, but we've got good indications that these are good buying points at like the 128, and if it dips below that, then I'm going to move a little bit more money into it at around between 128 and 120. And then again up here at like the 148 level, something like that. But I see an optimistic viewpoint for like the end of the year. Like I think that we've seen inflation top out, like all these concerns on why this would have been. Inflation's topping out, COVID's going away, like the Delta variant is becoming less and less of our daily lives, and we've been preparing for the Fed to do whatever it's going to do. Like that's already priced into the market at this point. Like is if it happens, like I'm not saying that we won't see a downturn, but like eventually, like I think that we get to the like price predictions that like Goldman Sachs has been making at the end of the year, which we see the S&P 500 hitting 4,700, and I think that's a very easy prediction right now, as we have the S&P 500 sitting at 4,400 roughly.
So for the end of the year, what do you think this is going to get to?
What we currently have it at is 132. First high was around 150. Yeah, 152. I think we see it continue past the 150 levels, and we see it pulling into like the 160, 170 level. I'm all in on this one for the rest of the year. I think a lot of people that I've been surrounding myself with have been saying that like this is also like that little turn down was like a little hesitation point, but now we're back on track, and things are going to be getting better towards the end of the year, especially as we see holiday seasons come around. People like to buy stuff around those points, and as we know, the fundamentals eventually drive earnings and what the stock prices do. So we see big digits going into the end of the year, and we're going to be just fine.
So this is a buy, people. This is a buy.
We've already had the buy, but I'm saying like this thing can continue to hop on through, and like we might see up and downs. Like definitely buy when we see a down day. This today is like it's hitting its new like high for the month of October, so I wouldn't say like dive in right now. But what
Right.
I would say is like, if it turns back around and bounces down to like the 120s somewhere in there, yeah, definitely get in on a few, and don't be afraid to like when you make these gains, flip a little bit, get out, and then like wait for it to turn back down, because I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as just like one straight line to like the top. We are seeing like good stuff going into that, and we also see a lot of really good stuff coming around a lot of other things, which we're really excited for the end of the year
Oh
as
yeah.
well.
And one more thing about the TQQ, and then just stocks in general. Are there any stocks that you trust a lot to go up by the end of the year?
Man, I just have to say that like there's a name that won't ever miss towards like the end of the year, and I think that that's Google. You never see Google having too much of a hard time, and no matter what it is, like they're not affected by any sort of like chip shortages or stuff like that. They're just online, so as long as like nobody comes out and cancels the internet, which I don't really
Yeah.
think is like a thing, I think that they're gonna be all right.
Or they might, blockchain might just cancel out the internet.
Blockchain just might, but I think they're gonna have to talk to Google a little bit
Yeah.
about that. I also like Apple. I think that that's like gonna be a great name towards the end of the year as well. One of the reasons is if we are able to get the supply chain kind of figured out, which I know we have more people devoting their time to working in the supply chain, and we also have like better like some of the problems was a supply chain backup, so we didn't have like enough people getting the stuff and then like driving it places, so we see like empty shelves and stuff, and
Right.
just because of that, and prices were high, so not as much like people wanted to buy them. And so what we have now is we have like the ports on all sides of us. Like we have the port of LA, and then the port of New Jersey going full, switching to full time, like 24/7, like
Oh wow.
operations instead of going 5 days 24/7. Now there's 24/7, and so
Dang.
yeah, and I see like that being a big thing towards like working out like some of the supply chain problems towards the end of the year. And I mean, we won't see like semiconductors or chip shortages get sorted out exactly like super quick on the spot, but I do think we see like Apple taking like a nice ride towards the end of the year as people like fix and like want to get new phones. Holiday seasons are always nice to do stuff like that.
Oh
And
yeah.
just after a pullback in the stock price, I think that this thing's wound up and ready to rock and roll.
Awesome.
Third stock right now. It's kind of funny because I've been keeping my portfolio kind of like I guess condensed because
Hmm.
like we did see like we'd been talking about it on the show, like we'd seen the ride down, and we've been talking about like hold like keep your money on the sidelines. That's what we've been
Right.
talking about. And then we called the 119 bounce, and now things are kind of turning back around. And but like I like the things that I had like Google, Apple,
Hmm.
and then like some of these stronger names, because like what we're gonna see is like the playoffs and like just solid fundamental companies. Like I also like Microsoft for the same reason. It's just like you can't get away from them. And I think one of the greatest things that I could show people is the Finviz heat map here.
The Finviz.
Yeah, Finviz Heat Map. All right, taking you guys over to the Finviz Heat Map today. This is a little treat for y'all. This is something that I use in my stock understandings and stuff like this. But I think it's amazing. It's what an amazing tool here. But this is like a weighted out like and it's interactive too. But you can see like by weighted market cap of like meaning how big like the company is with all of its assets and stuff. Like what its movements are on the day. Like as we
Wow.
see, the biggest companies out there are Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, like just those big names, and they come together for a big part of it. What did we just talk about? I talked about liking Apple for the end of the year. I like Microsoft and Google. these are
Yeah.
these aren't like hard like things to like dive into because like they're just phenomenal names and have a phenomenal balance sheet. And one of the things that I wanted to show you guys is under analyst recommendations, they are the best names going forward.
Oh wow.
Like on a 1 means a strong buy and 5 means a sell. So I mean, you can sort around in here and find like stuff that's all right. But like I'm just keeping it simple, keeping it easy. You got Apple, you got Microsoft, you got Google, Facebook, Amazon. I'm not as big of an Amazon fan, but
Yeah.
and I
No,
think another company that we're going to see do very well into the future is General Motors.
why is that?
Them and Ford both have just phenomenal balance sheets. They have a lot to look forward for in the future because they've dedicated themselves to trying to take on something like Tesla in the car market. But what they're pushing on now is like the electrical vehicle side and stuff like that. And also, they've got such a strong demand for their vehicles. If they're just able to get a little bit of their like chip shortage figured out, I think that these can rock and roll. And actually, Ford as well. They've promised to double their revenues by 2029.
Oh wow. And then when are they going to
Double.
go completely electric?
That's like sometime just after that, like 2030, 2040 or something like that. But
Okay.
like these are like sleeper names that like I think people gave up, but I've been kind of like vibing with them for a minute ever since they kind of announced that they were going to be going like towards the electrical market. Like these are good names to be into. I mean, like you can find stuff all over here. Like this is the United States economy right here. So just about any names that you're gonna pick after a downturn are gonna be super solid wins. But like I like the winners,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
like the TQQQ is these winners: Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. But it's just at a leveraged ratio at like 3 times whatever they do. So if Google like today is up 2.4%, then really that return in my like TQQQ looks like 7%.
Oh wow.
So I mean, I want to be on this. I want to be on this team.
Yeah, the winning team.
Yeah, and if you can see like the correlation between like stocks that are going up right now and like the like analyst recommendations look pretty correlated. So I'd say we continue to rock with big names on the way out of the season and call it a good year in terms of the stock market. But we're not only into stocks.
No, we're not.
Johnny, what do we have going on in terms of crypto right now? Where do you see cryptos looking like?
I see crypto's looking very, very good by the end of the year. And then, of course, I think we should start out with our main one, Solana. So,
Oh yeah.
so have you been investing in Solana?
Currently I have around 160 Solanas.
Okay, now people,
So
and
just
how much
fell
is
on
it for
it.
one Solana?
150 something right now.
150 something. It is literally 150, 150 54 cents,
Wow.
which is crazy. And this is a low price, people. By the end of the year, this thing is going to be, way up there. And then by the end of 2022, it's going to be even farther up. But we're speaking about the end of this year. So
Mm-hmm.
Solana, they've been making a lot of new improvements. They got more validators, which was a big issue because they went down in September.
And the validators are people that like will help make sure that like they don't have those going down problems.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and then they recently came out with Wormhole, which is
Mm-hmm.
the thing that's going to make it possible for Solana and Ethereum to connect. It's like a cross-chain
Mm-hmm.
platform, and also Solana's NFT marketplace. The whole community. There's so many things that are being built using Solana right now. Even like there's this one NFT that I think you guys should know about called the SHIBA Family, and it's powered by Solana. You earn royalties by holding it, which is really
Wow.
cool. Yeah, and also, it's a little shout out to Shiba Inu,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very cute crypto that we like here at ROIS Podcast. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
actually the number we actually talked about it last podcast. We were saying how Shiba Inu is going to go up, and wouldn't you know it, the past 2 weeks it was the number one trending crypto that was being talked
I
about.
think that was all you, Johnny, and I think we need to give a shout out to you for that one because you got me in on
Thank
that.
you,
You got me in on that one, and you're talking about it. And
thank you.
Johnny just kills it with his recommendation here on crypto. So I'd tell you guys to listen up because this guy's got something to say.
And it's crazy, people, because I'm not like very I'm like a financial analyst or anything. I just look into it. I do the research. I look into it, and
Hmm.
it's if you do the research and you see that it has valuable things for it, and there's a strong community behind it, odds are it's gonna go up. I mean, we've literally called that for every single
Right.
thing on here. What do you think, Roy, for Solana? What do you think is gonna make it go
I like Solana a lot. I mean, like, I'm not as deep onto like the deep research side as you are, but I like how watching like bigger people like in the market, like when they come on and they talk about cryptos, because you'll see those people on TV every once in a while now, and they're always just like Bitcoin, Bitcoin, and like they now consistently put in like, all right, Bitcoin's not
I
all
know.
that. They're like the people like get it, get it. They're like, and they're talking about like starting as of like next week or the week after that, like there's going to be an ETF for futures of Bitcoin,
Oh
which is
wow.
insane. Yeah, it's insane. And we also saw just this week that JP Morgan is now like big into like cryptos as well. When like the guy and he like a few years back said like crypto is never going to be a thing. So he's basically just admitting defeat right there. Cryptos are definitely a thing. They're here to stay,
Yeah,
and like
is
they're
it
going
the
forward.
CEO?
I'm not exactly sure who it
I saw
was.
the CEO say that like he doesn't believe in it, but like he doesn't think it has any value or whatever. But if everyone's getting into it, they're gonna get into it as
Yeah,
well.
that's kind of like what like ended up happening. And
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure on which person that was, but like I know that they're taking big steps that way. And I think it's just like you get a feel for like kind of what people are talking about just by scanning like the market and like the community and whatnot. And it's just like now people get on there and they're always like it's in the top two or three things that they say right now. It's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. And
Yeah.
then like they kind of like phase into like other things that they like, which could be random, but like Solana's in like every single conversation. They're like people don't know whether to call it like the Ethereum killer, if
Yeah.
it, which is funny because Wormhole, like if they knew anything about it, like helps
Right.
them work together. So
Exactly.
like it's just, but like they're seeing so much use for it, and I think that we got some big dollars sitting in there now. We just need some sort of like catalyst, which
Oh
I
yeah.
think that we see coming with like Bitcoin and like Ethereum's jumps that are now Bitcoin is sitting near 60,000, which is crazy because like
Wow.
middle of the year is like 30,000, and
That's
Ethereum's up there at
crazy.
like 3.8K, which is
That's nuts
wild.
too.
Yeah, so it's been a good time like owning those, but like
And
that's
Ethereum
not
2.0 hasn't launched yet.
they haven't even launched that shit yet. Like so, I think that's like what makes me hopeful for Ethereum of the future as well. Is they gotta like if they get to that, like they're gonna have like big promise there with Ethereum 2.0, and that's gonna be nice.
They've been having to delay it for a little bit, so I
Hmm.
wonder. I wonder what issues are going on with it because, like, I
It's a
feel like
giant project.
yeah, it's huge. I mean, what they're trying to do here is basically, make the playing field leveled with Solana because as of
Hmm.
right now, Solana is, it is everything that Ethereum wants for itself. You know what I mean?
Like the
Like,
scalability and then like the setting up for like the next transaction and
yeah, everything. And then like
that's why I love Solana. Like it's
it's
just
so
that
great.
pure. Like
It reminds me of this. This is what it reminds me of, people. If you think back to the kind of the race with Apple, IBM, Microsoft, Apple was very personalized and user friendly for people that weren't even into it yet, that how to use it.
hmm
And as you can see, Apple clearly has done very well for itself. That's how I kind of think of Solana in this. Like it's kind of the third small one,
hmm
but it's so user friendly, especially
oh
when it
yeah.
comes to NFTs, which is like a thing that everyone's trying to get into now. And it's like you can literally just go on to Soulsea, and then you can just upload whatever image it is, whatever video, whatever that you want for your NFT. Make it into a collection just by like it's so simple. You just move and then like press yes. It's not like you have to like know like certain phrases and all of that stuff. Like it's
Right.
so self-explanatory. It's nuts.
hmm
And then and then the fee
So much cheaper.
to list one, it's like $1 maybe,
Yeah.
which isn't bad. For Ethereum, it's like freaking, you know, $20 or like, depending on how much you're trying to sell it for. Like if
Right.
you're trying to sell it for like 1,000, you're gonna be paying like a $200 fee.
Yeah,
So
they're
it's
gonna
just
be
like
coming for you. Like, oh, this guy's gonna be getting some cash. Let's just take it all.
right,
Take twenty
exactly.
percent of this shit.
It's crazy. And then yeah, and so in terms of Ethereum, I think I don't think like it's gonna be the Ethereum killer. I think it's kind of on its own thing right now. You know what I mean? On its own little wave.
I love like what you were talking about. Like it is like Apple during like that time, you know. Like there was like I remember going to like when I was a kid, just like this is a random memory, but when I was in like my parent would drop me off at like Lifetime Fitness, and then like for whatever reason, Lifetime Fitness was like the early adapters of that and like the childcare area. So
Yeah.
I remember looking at these like products, being like, dang, these are like so cool. Like this isn't like any of the whack business type looking computer that I have to use at when I'm at school doing like a project or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
It's just like these look cool, and I think like something about Solana is
It's
up.
clean.
Yeah, it's clean, set up, and simple, and I think that that has like just something about like the recognition of that is like something that like will feed into its like growth. Like I'm not saying that that's like a giant determination, but like I think what people like about it is its like scalability, its processes for like the next ones, and really what they were lacking was these validators.
Right.
So like they're getting more and more. I even looked into being a validator, but you need
Yeah.
like some crazy stuff going on with that. You need like hardware and like encryption passwords and being able to fend off like attacks from random hacking software. And I could
Yeah.
barely like remember my password to get into like my Gmail account, and they're like, you need to have 50 passwords just to have like one of these. And it's just
Oh my
like,
gosh.
how do I know which password goes first? It's just like,
Yeah.
and you know, it's just, like the validators, shout out to what they do because they make like this stuff possible. But like, damn, you guys are some real wild ones. And
Yeah.
I imagine like the validators being like some guy from like a movie that's like hacking something in like a wild warehouse like somewhere that like we can't see, and he's got like his like hood on, and he's just like always like coding, and he's just like, we're hacking into the mainframe.
Like
But
the
like,
clip art you would see of like if Anonymous did something.
yeah, something like that. And like they're doing like the anonymous work, but they're doing it for like the good team. So,
Right.
but like it's just like some wild process. I wouldn't recommend anybody becoming a validator unless that's what you're into. And if you're into it, we need more of those. So go for it. But if not, you could just simply invest in cryptocurrency and then just be better off.
Exactly. You don't need to, have a background in investing or any of that. Like you literally just have to do the research, and then you'll figure it out as you go. And something I want to touch on briefly, just because it came out 2 weeks ago, there's been quite a few things, or honestly, there's been a few articles written on it. But then when you go to their website, it's insane. So it's called the Evergrow Coin, right?
Ooh, right.
And what it is essentially it's a new DeFi. It's DeFi and a coin as well. So here we go. So hyper deflationary token with USD reflections. Evergrow Coin or Evergrow works on an autonomous, frictionless yield farming and liquidity generation protocol. Simply hold the it's the EGC tokens in your wallet and earn passive income in Binance pegged BUSD. So that means you're not going to be earning more of the coin. You're going to be earning Binance, like BNB, which we know is worth a lot, which is actually ranked number 3 right now on CoinMarketCap. And you earn passive income. So Evergrow Coin is a deflationary token designed to become more scarce over time. All holders of EGC will earn 8% reward from every buy/sell transaction in Binance pegged BUSD, which is automatically sent to your wallet by simply holding EGC in your wallet. It's crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And you can look at this. So let's just read a quick little bit about the token economics. Evergrow Coin is the next evolution of a reflection token on the Binance Smart Chain, the first BUSD reflection token to maximize your earnings for both now and the future. Simply hold EGC tokens and get rewarded 8% in BUSD from each transaction automatically delivered to your wallet. So 8% of every buy/sell is redistributed to any holder that is holding the coin in their wallet. 2% of every transaction is transferred into a liquidity pool for PancakeSwap to create a stable price floor. And then here you go. You can see the reward to holders, 8%, liquidity fees, 2%, buyback plus burn, 3%, and then marketing wallet, 1%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very cool. Oh, and this is a big thing because you see this a lot with like new tokens, and then if you don't look into this and you just take it at the face value for the price, you're going to think, oh, this is a meme coin, but it's clearly not a meme coin. And so they have a thing, it's called the anti-whale mechanism. And it
Yeah, get
ensures,
these whales out of here.
yeah, for real, what are they doing? They're just flopping around on everyone. It ensures that no sale amounts higher than 0.125% of the total supply are possible at once. Initially, it was at 0.25%, but after we burned 50% tokens of the total supply, we have reduced the limit per transaction by 50%. The anti-whale won't necessarily stop whales from selling, but having a maximum limit works as an indicator when a whale is trying to sell their tokens and avoid price manipulations. Now, they are also having an NFT marketplace coming very soon, and it's the first ever decentralized marketplace for easing liquidity in NFT and DeFi. Built on BSC, our marketplace will allow NFT owners to easily borrow against their NFT as collateral on fair interest rates without having to sell them. This means you can earn from your NFTs instead of having them just sit there in your wallet.
Dang, that's kind of what we talk about with like selling puts on stocks. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you're just selling puts on your assets.
It's crazy. It's absolutely
Wow.
nuts.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and you're gonna be able to buy, and it's gonna be like OpenSea, but way better. It's gonna be like SolSea, which there's actually a NFT that we were gonna be buying in 2 days, and I think you guys should all look into it. It's called the SHIBA Family NFT. One more thing I want to show you guys from this, because I think this is very important. I forgot to mention it. If you look at all these different attributes, they have play to earn games that are coming, DApp and swap exchange, and staking pools. And then here's the token structure. So the pre-sale, which already happened, and initial liquidity was 45% of the token, and then 50% of it was sent to a burn address, and then the founders of the team get 3%, and then airdrop 2%. And so the total supply right now is quadrillion.
Yeah, I think that's quadrillion.
And then so look at how many they've burned, right?
Oh wow, they've also they burned like half that.
And they're gonna keep burning. You can and then it's cool because every time someone buys or sells this token, you're literally gonna be like, if you go to the I forget the name of the website, but they tell you when you get it, you can claim your rewards, and you can see how much of how much you've been earning just by having this in your wallet.
Dang, dude, that just doesn't even sound like that bad. You could just put some of the money you're not really using. Could I put like a Solana in there?
What do you mean?
Like a Solana, or I can't just throw like a Solana into this and like let it. Would I have to switch it over into their coin?
Oh, okay. So, so the thing about this coin, since it's so new and it came out 2 weeks ago, it's not gonna be the easiest thing to get, right? So it took me a little bit to figure out how to get it. And the way that, if you want to go buy this coin, is to go to PancakeSwap, download. Okay, in terms of the wallet, you're going to want to have a MetaMask wallet or a Trust wallet. I choose a Trust wallet because I think the fees aren't it just doesn't, it's not as annoying as the MetaMask wallet. And
For sure.
then you're going to want to also have a like a Binance wallet, Binance Smart Wallet. So you're going to need to transfer. This is kind of complicated, people. And you know what? Maybe I'll make a tutorial video and post up how to do it. But essentially, you're going to have to go through all these little hoops to get it, because you have to buy it with Binance, with BNB from PancakeSwap. But you can't be on the Ethereum network. You need to be on the Binance network. There's a thing where it shows the network that it's connected to if you go into your MetaMask wallet, and it will say Ethereum network. There's about 7 different networks. There's a Binance, Polygon one as well, and so you're going to want to choose the Binance one. And then from there, once you have deposited a certain amount of BNB to it, you're going to go to PancakeSwap. Now on PancakeSwap, also, people, it's an exchange that is more complicated, I would say, than your average exchange. It's not like Crypto.com. It's not like Binance. It's just more complicated because it's taking all of those factors, those networks, and kind of like cross-platforming them. So again, I'll put up a tutorial. But anyways, right now it's been out for 2.5 weeks now. Super cheap. Put it this way, it's point and then 6 zeros. And then 4-3 or whatever right now. And as more and more people buy it, they're going to be burning more and more of them. So, and people are comparing.
They have to be worth more.
Exactly, and people are comparing them to Shiba Inu and stuff. And Yeah, I guess you could say that because it's like a new token that's gonna, that has a lot of potential to grow, but it's not, it's way better than Shiba Inu. It's actually like I take it seriously.
Right.
It's like an actual,
Unlike these clowns.
right. Shiba Inu is great. Like it's great, like kind of like how a slot machine is great, like like you probably make some money because everyone's getting in on it, but it only goes so far, right?
Right.
And speaking of Shiba Inu, their NFT exchange launched today. So shout out to Shiba Inu's
Shout out
NFT
to Shiba.
exchange. All right, so kind of to just finish off talking about the Evergrow coin, Binance. So Solana, they have their NFT exchange. Ethereum has their NFT exchange. Binance, a big exchange itself and crypto itself, doesn't really have a good NFT exchange. Evergrow Coin is trying to fill that spot for Binance.
Dang, that's insane.
Right.
Dude,
So
I love what I'm hearing about this coin.
dude, it's phenomenal. It really is. And like the team behind it, like I'm in their Discord server and it's all very like, it's just a very trustworthy team behind it. So I believe in it, and obviously this is very early. We are very early.
Dude, we're always very early. We're early on the stuff that we're very early on.
That's true. That is so true.
Dude, like the Solana, like, and just like all of this stuff is so wild. But
It is
like,
wild. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't want to, talk too much about it as if I know a bunch about it because it just came out. So I know as much as it tells me.
But strictly on the supply and demand side, like this has to work out. If like they're burning it and they're burning supply, and like everybody, like the demand's going to get greater, supply is going to get less. Like the best way I can put it is like if me and Johnny are like looking into some apples on like the ground and like we eat a few and then like three more of our buddies show up, like we're gonna be much more like aggressive to get these apples,
right.
like
Yeah.
there's less of them and we need them, like we're starving or
Right.
something like that. So being high supply and high demand.
And something I should mention that is exciting is they broke a crypto record actually in terms of how fast they grew their market cap. 2 weeks.
Really? Evergrow?
Yeah, Evergrow. So it's been 2 weeks since they've been out, and they're already at $100 million market cap. Which is
Damn,
nuts.
that's sweet.
Isn't that crazy?
That means that people are actually, dude, that we need to go through like the process of like getting more of these.
Yeah, you know what? I'll put a video in here, like a little tutorial right here,
Okay.
and it'll show like the whole process on how to get it.
Dude, I'm gonna be watching that one.
Okay, cool.
Putting like $100 into this and like,
Dude, you'll get a lot. Like I put like $20. I got 47 million of them right now just sitting in my wallet.
nice.
Like just cause.
Just cause that's like one of the best investment things is like from like the stuff that I've been following. You gotta get like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and then like you
Yes.
find something that you're kind of passionate about, and then you kind of like fall on that on like the regular. I've probably done it a little wrong with Solana because like I'm like
No, Solana's great
I'm deep in the bag there, but I think that's how you want to like have it pan out in the end. You're like, all
I
right,
agree.
this is like my thing. Like I'm going forward with this, and you still got like other things going on, but it's just like this is something I can fully believe going forward is going to kill it.
Right, you don't
I'm
want to
thinking
spread
this
yourself too
might,
thin.
yes, and I'm thinking Evergrow Coin might be like one of them that I'm like, yep,
Dude,
pretty good.
it's gonna be great. Like I feel excited. Like the way I feel right now talking about it is how I felt when we were talking about Solana when we called
Yeah.
it.
Oh, dude, it's so great that like they just keep coming out with like more and more of these.
I know.
And then you're like, wow, this one's like promising. This one's promising. Like,
Yes, and because it's like there's obviously problems with every crypto out there, and so I feel like the way to think about it is in terms of like finding the next great crypto is what are the big problems for the big cryptos? What is a big problem for Ethereum? What is a big problem for Solana? Find a crypto that is trying to fulfill that little space, so that there's no longer a problem.
Right.
that's
That's
how you
actually
find it.
perfectly said. I think that's got to be like one of the opening comments here for like
Oh,
the
thank
show.
you. Yeah, well,
Because that's brilliant. Like if you're looking for it and you're trying to find like the next thing, it's just like where's everything else going wrong?
exactly.
Boom.
Yeah.
Great starting spot. And then go from there.
Seriously.
That's
And
what. Isn't that what you saw of Solana back in the
then
day?
it's exactly what I saw with Solana.
You're like,
The
this thing
the
could hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I wanted to get in, on like with Ethereum and stuff, and their open seed, their NFT exchange,
Hmm.
everything. But the transaction fees were just like, dude, I can't even afford this. I
Dude,
I can't even afford to convert my Ethereum to like normal money. Like,
it's just gotta sit there.
yeah, it's just gonna sit there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Polkadot because that's a big one.
Just real quick before we get on out of here, it moved into being the number 8 spot market cap wise, right there next to our friend Solana,
What did?
Polkadot.
Oh my,
Yeah, I'm actually. I'll show you guys what we're rocking
that's
with.
huge. What was it at before?
It was way back. It's had like
Yeah.
some sort of like, but here we go. We got Bitcoin on a roll, Ethereum also on a roll, and like those are usually the first few movers.
Hmm.
Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP. It's all right. Solana, Polkadot just came out of nowhere.
Dang,
Look at this thing. Past like 30 days, just 7.5%. This
that's
now,
insane.
I think it was sitting at like 12. I want to say it was sitting at around 12.
Wow.
Dogecoin. Dogecoin's getting at what it deserves, man. Like for y'all that are like in on Dogecoin, that's a meme. You're gonna see like me and Johnny are here to tell you guys about like how this game works. That's a meme.
Yes.
It has no value. There is nothing going on there.
None.
It's just something that like a community is behind. And once the community leaves, there's like nothing really holding it up.
Yeah.
Solana has a community and fundamentals and like potential technical patterns to like help break it up to the upside. We
Yes.
don't invest in Dogecoin for this reason. And like we're really looking into like stuff that has like solid fundamentals and stuff that you can do behind it, not just something that Elon Musk says is cool. So
Exactly.
this is kind of what we've been rolling through. We have Polkadot here, and I forget exactly what it's been doing lately, but
Hmm.
there's something that's been really propelling it. Like in the last 60 days, you see just like kind of right here, maybe it bottomed out like 10 to 20 days ago,
Yeah.
and then it's just kind of been on a full steam charge, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I was looking the other day at Polkadot and like kind of reasons why it's just launched up to where it is. And one of the biggest reasons is there were a lot of new, I guess, cryptos like we were just talking about that have been fulfilling certain aspects that Polkadot was having problems with. So in
Wow.
terms of like its ability to work with Ethereum, a new crypto came out recently called the Shiden Network, SHIDEN. It just got listed onto crypto.com. It's a multi-chain DApp hub on Kusama. It's a smart contract platform natively supporting Ethereum, virtual machine, and WebAssembly. And basically, it also works with the crypto Cosmos, which is, it's a decently big one. And yeah, so it's enabling it to be easier, like working with Polkadot. I know that
Right.
that's one of the reasons, but there's just so many. I can't even tell you them all. Maybe I'll list them.
Yeah, you definitely should go about listing them.
Yeah.
And like it's just like great to. I think it's great to like that we're seeing like these cryptos coming along with just like stuff that they're seeing like other cryptos lacking. That's just
Yes.
how they're filling the space in the market. And
Yes.
it's just been so much fun to watch because like we have these big names and it's just like where do they all fit in? And so
Exactly. Yeah, because you got to wonder. It's like, we've known about Polkadot
right.
for a long time. It's been one of the major players,
Hmm.
but like we never really, what made it. There was nothing that like was like, oh wow, Polkadot.
Yeah,
Like,
Polkadot. It's just kind of like
but
oh there it is.
right now it's making moves, so it's kind of like, oh whoa, Polkadot. Like,
Yeah, and I think that's what you kind of got to look for out of these, you know. And it's like they all kind of take turns too. It's like right now,
yeah,
like Bitcoin and Ethereum and like Polkadot are doing their thing, like, and then like towards the end of the year, like you get more people in on it. Like then you just see I've still got Cardano. That's like number 4. Like
yeah.
I think we see that start to do something. Like as long as
Oh
it's not
yeah.
just like a bot. Like I think we could see $3 out of that pretty easily. We also see like Solana and stuff like that, which is a big mover. Like I just can't. We can't talk about it enough on here. But like
Honestly,
it's
yeah.
got so much. I'm just waiting for something, and just gonna go.
What do you think by the end of the year it's gonna get to?
Oh, these are great thoughts. I'm definitely seeing like 300.
300. Okay, so
Yeah.
if someone put right now, if someone put say 5 grand into it at 150, what would that amount to? If
Double,
one,
double.
so yeah, so
It
it's
would
no
have
joke,
been
people.
10K. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna let you guys figure out how much that like I would be making at the end of the year with like prior hints if like this
Right.
actually goes on to double. But if it does, we're getting a we're getting a nice studio here.
Oh, that'll be sick. That'll be
Yeah.
so sick.
Yeah. Just like a place where we solely do podcasts.
Yeah, dedicated to the Roy's podcast, people. This is a podcast that is truly making just as many waves in terms of as cryptos. Okay, because we may be small and we may have a smaller audience right now, but these people, these smaller audience, our fellow audience, you know that we have called like literally every
Like
single
for real, if you guys have been here for us, like we've been on the spot for like markets, cryptos,
it's
NFTs, like
nuts.
you name it, we've called it. It's just and like no BS. Like we've been, I don't think we really missed, but like if we've missed, it's been like small things like here or there.
We
Like
haven't.
yeah, like
But like,
I think you guys have been here for our
yeah,
big shout out to you guys real quick. I want to say that like you guys are always welcome to comment on the show. Like listen, ask us questions. We love you guys, and anything that you guys have to talk about. Like if you're unsure about what we're talking about on here, if like you have an NFT of your own that you wanted to talk about on
yeah,
here, if you are like anything, like if you have like $2 and want to like buy stocks, like come on here. Like we're gonna help you figure it out.
yeah. We'd love to. We would love to help someone live on the podcast. Literally help them, and then maybe 2 weeks later have them back on and be like, "So how did this do for you?"
Right, and then
Like,
just see, and then you can start hearing like the outsiders talk about it. But I'm sure if they've been following the show, they know what's up and they
oh,
know
they
how to
know.
be. So I think with that, we're pretty good on wrapping up the show.
Just like
Johnny,
one more thing,
you got any?
in terms of upcoming NFTs
Oh, right.
that I would recommend. Um, First of all, the exchange FTX is really big. It's partnered with Solana, and they offer they offer like the big NFTs that everyone knows about right now. So I'll just show you a quick example. So this is their NFT marketplace, and it's not just NFT marketplace. It's like a real crypto marketplace, but they have all the big NFTs. So they starting with number one, they got Thug Birds. We talked about that before, last episode. They got Solsteads, so real estate. So these are cool. They're little houses that you can get, and then like you can decorate and stuff. All of these are worth a lot of money right now. 8-bit apes, Solamas, like these are all. If you know anything about the Solana NFTs, you know that these are actually very big NFTs, right?
Yeah.
So I just recently kind of looked into this NFT exchange. So it's pretty cool, and it's a wallet, so it's just like easy to buy NFTs as well.
Right.
But in terms of the upcoming NFT projects that I would recommend, I'm going to have to tell you about this one, and it's already actually out right now. It's called Wooshi World.
Wooshi World.
Now these things are so cool. They're these little and this isn't a Solana one. This is a Ethereum one, but they're these little like it's more than just a collector's item. Our ultimate goal is to enable a community of builders and players around the Wooshi ecosystem, generating value in the most decentralized way possible. And these things look so cool. This is a weird commercial. Let me just like. Okay, yeah, this commercial actually makes no sense. So we're just gonna pretend I didn't play that. But I swear, these things are actually very cool. See, this is what I was trying to get to. These are the NFTs. You can get one of these. These are like unreal. Like, you compare them to, because I feel like the big NFTs that people have been talking about are, pictures. But this is like, obviously something a little more
Like
special.
animated and stuff.
Yeah, as you can see.
More customizability right there.
Yes, and look there's 11,111 of them, and they're minting right now. You can mint your Wooshi, and it's going for 0.11 Ethereum, which is great, plus gas as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one would be the SHIBA family. Now, let me show you guys this. So the SHIBA family is very cool. I know I talked about it real quick for a second earlier, but it comes out in 2 days, powered by Solana.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And the first ones that are coming out, this is it. So these are awesome. You can already tell that the artwork is great.
Those are
There's,
sweet.
Yep, there's 30,000 of them, but there's going to be 10,000, or, oh, look at that, 7,000 of the SHIBA Man. So this is the first one of the collection to come out.
Nice.
1.3 Sol, or I'm sorry, 1.5 Sol for the public. And there's 214 different attributes. You get 10% royalty for just holding it, 50% sharing royalty. And I would recommend you join the Discord, because joining Discords for NFTs is probably the most important thing, because that's how you figure out, like, you know, announcements. That's how you'll figure out what exchanges they're going to be listed on, how strong the community is. All of these things matter. So Discord.
Heck yeah. Well, I think with that, we are well up to date with like what's going on. Johnny, thank you so much for bringing in some of that NFT knowledge. That was top tier. And like talking about like the Discord, that stuff is like off the charts. Like if you guys want to get in there and get the inside scoop on what's going on with like your NFTs or even cryptos, like I'm in the Solana one, and like it's awesome. You get updates and announcements, and it's way better than checking like Twitter or whatever. It's like these are like the people, the developers, and they're right there on the spot telling you the real life news. So I think as with that, we've killed it today, and we love having you guys here with us today. Big shout out to our fans, and stay in the money and stay in the market. We're gonna be getting it at the
Stay in
end
the
of
money, stay in the market, and stay listening to ROIS podcast.
That's how we do.
All right, guys. See ya.
See ya.